Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the moment that you've all been waiting for.
Campfire Tales from Beyond the Grave.
So we were sitting here around the campfire, and we were talking about a place that's very familiar to all of us here at VAPI, and perhaps some of you that have seen some of our previous stuff, or if any of you have, maybe a few of you have, read my book, The Ghosts of Yorktown. A place called Crawford Road. Now, this is a long stretch of road on the outskirts of Yorktown that leads into Newport News. And it's very desolate as you get towards the center of it. It's surrounded by watershed property on one side, national park property, so you can't really venture off too far. And of course, it's illegal to go up on top of the bridge. So let me just put that disclaimer out there because it is owned by the National Park Service. But this road for years has been the source of lore and legend in Yorktown. And an urban legend where a lonely bride once hung herself from this bridge. And urban legend has it. Now, there's many reasons, of course, going back a little bit as to why she hung herself. Some say she was stood up at the altar. Now, actually, historically backing this, we haven't found any evidence that this actually happened, but it is kind of a cool story. So, people drive to this bridge at night in hopes of seeing her spirit. And what they'll do is they're coming down Crawford Road, they'll pull under this bridge, this graffiti-covered bridge, and they'll park their car. And some have said that they've heard her feet hit the top of their car. Others, they'll turn off their car and they'll put the keys on the hood, and they'll hear her falling down, hitting the top of the car. But another anomaly that happens under this bridge is that of a dark figure that seems to come out in front of their car. And when this dark figure comes out, they try to start the car, they can't start it, and it walks off, and once again they can start their car. Well, we went down there several times, and some of the stories we haven't really shared. And one of them that I was talking about was one of my early experiences out at Crawford Road. And this was probably about 13 years ago, 12 or 13 years ago. For starters, the first time I went down this road, there was an anomaly that I couldn't explain. All three of us that were in the car saw this. We're coming up from the Yorktown side, and we drive under the bridge. And just after we get under the bridge, there's this green mist in the road. It doesn't look like the form of a person. It's not standing. It's eye level, and it comes towards the windshield as we're driving, or we come towards it. But whatever be the reason, it comes to the windshield, and whoosh, once it comes, like it's coming through the windshield almost, it disappears. It's gone. And we couldn't explain that. So ever since then, we've gone back to Crawford Road, and a lot of times without a lot happening. Well, one of our members one time told me that, look, let's go out there at 3 a.m. because I've been out there at 3 a.m. and I've seen some crazy stuff. So we did. We went out there, and coming up from the Yorktown side, we stopped the car probably about 20 meters from the bridge. And we get out and we decide we're going to walk up to the bridge. As we're walking along the road, we hear something running through the woods. And of course, my first thought is it's probably a deer. There's wildlife out here. It's something to that effect. But then we hear the strangest thing, which sounds like a little kid laughing in the woods. 3 a.m, this area is nowhere near any houses. Why is there a little kid laughing out there in the woods? It was an anomaly to us. Well, what we did is, after going back to the car, we drove through the bridge and stopped on the other side of it, kind of facing the bridge. Turned off the headlights and sat in the car and observed for a little bit. Well, when we turned off the headlights, you could see under the bridge. You could see the road going under the bridge and kind of up a little bit. This dark spot, this dark, and not little spot, this dark area would appear under the bridge that almost looked to me like as if the road was going up, there was a puddle of water there on the road. So we turn on the car lights to see if we can figure out what that thing is. There's nothing there. The road does not go up there where it looked like it would have been, if it was a puddle of water and the road was going up. It didn't do that. And there was no water under the bridge. Water under the bridge, right? So we turn off the lights again, and we can clearly see there's nothing there. And once again, this dark figure appears. And it didn't look like a person. It was kind of just like a dark blob, no taller than a child would have been if it was a person standing on the road. We get out, go up to the bridge. There's nothing there, nothing that could explain this. So it was an anomaly that happened at Crawford Road, and we've had quite a few that's happened since then. But the place is one of those places where certain nights you can go up there and nothing will happen. It'll feel perfectly comfortable. You can go through it with the windows down. You can stop under the bridge, nothing. But other nights you go down there and it's just got this crazy, eerie feeling where you see that bridge coming up on this lonely stretch of road, and every fiber in your being wants you to turn around. Except for those of us who are known as ghost hunters, who keep going into this darkness to see what unknown things may linger there. I have to say, with Crawford Road, I do think there's something out there. It could be with because of many of the murders that have happened out there, and there have been some like real life murders that have happened that are documented. The bride, I've never seen her. I've never seen a trace of her. I'm not sure if that's just kind of a made-up urban legend, but they say every legend is based in truth. On certain nights, one of the things that really creeps me out about this, that would be cool if you ever seen it, and I never have, but some people have driven under the bridge, just not even out there for the urban legend, and they look in their rearview mirror and they see this glowing bride hanging from the bridge. It'd be an eerie sight to know that you just drove under this bridge and there's somebody hanging from it. Crawford Road, is it really just a legend? I don't know. I think there's more to it.